Hey, what's up YouTube? I'm Jason, and I'm back in Tokyo. This video is for anyone interested in renting out a popular JDM car in Japan. We're here at Omoshiro's Rent-A-Car in Chiba, which is not exactly in Tokyo. I'll explain more about that later. Let's walk around and see the selection of cars that you can rent. They have a really wide variety of cars. You can see a majority of classic Japanese cars, European cars. They even have newer Japanese models that aren't available to own in America, like the Yaris GR. Here's a random tip of the day. Japanese locals can tell if you're a tourist driving these cars because of the license plate. If you look at the bottom left of the license plate, you can see the Japanese hiragana character, wa, which means that it's registered as a rental car. The 8.6, the Corolla, the MR2, I want to say these cars are probably the best cars to drive in Tokyo just because of the size and the width of it. They're not too wide and it'll give you that, awesome feeling of, driving a JDM car in Japan. Whereas if you rented like an R35 GTR, those things are really wide, really big cars, and it's a little harder to drive those cars in heavy traffic, let's say in like Tokyo or Yokohama. But if your goal is to drive a GTR or a Supra or something like a little bit of a wider body style car, don't let me stop you from renting that, because this is the place to do it at. I used to own a white R33 just like this one when I lived in Germany, and I had no issues with it being too wide or too big when I drove through like small little areas or narrow streets in Paris, Netherlands, or Luxembourg. I just wanted to put it out there that if you're gonna rent out an R35, those bodies are a lot bigger and wider, so just be aware of the streets in Japan and how narrow they are. It's definitely the fastest car here, so if you have the opportunity to, have fun with it. If you're planning to rent one of these cars, you can do it in a few steps. First, go to their website and select the location you want to rent from. Omoshiro is a big company and they service all around Japan. From there, select the car that you want and the rental date and time. You're going to have to upload your driver's license. You'll be charged an initial holding fee for your credit card. When you show up in person, you have to provide an international driver's license. You can learn more about that process in my Rent-A-Car in Japan video. If you want to drive a specific car, make sure you plan accordingly. The R34 GTRs, the Supras, the RX-7s are always booked up months in advance. Their selection of cars is huge, but these ones are usually always booked up. A good thing about renting from Omoshiro is that they don't limit you on the distance traveled like other rental car companies. If you want to, you could drive a GTR to Mount Fuji. Remember how I mentioned that this place isn't really in Tokyo? There are a few ways to get here. The easiest way? Probably take a taxi or a shuttle. That'll be the least amount of stress and it's direct. Now if you're up for an adventure, take public transport, like my friend Natasha. She can tell you all about that right here.
Yeah, so we caught 3 trains to get here from Tokyo, and then it was about a 20-minute walk just to get here. But it's totally worth it because we get to drive this car today.
Now if you're driving from Tokyo, it'll take you over an hour and a half to drive here. So you're probably wondering how much does it cost? So let's talk about pricing. There are so many different options for renting. You can rent a car for 6 hours, 9 hours, or 24 hours. I'll list a few popular cars, but if you want to know more about it, visit their website. Compared to other rental car companies in Japan, I'd say that these prices are pretty good considering the types of cars you're driving, especially having no mileage limits or no mileage caps. You can drive it anywhere. For anyone who stuck around this far, thank you for watching. I really appreciate you. Make sure to subscribe and be on the lookout for the next Japan video.